Hold the phone. Okay, so yesterday, news started circulating that Capcom had a statement coming about Resident Evil remakes, the future of Resident Evil remakes. And here we are. So it's been reported on a lot of websites what Capcom's saying about the future of Resident Evil remakes, that there are more coming. So I am on the Games Radar website. I'm just going to read the interview on this particular website, and I'll give you all my thoughts on it because this is fascinating. And it's kind of what we knew was going to happen, but now we're getting confirmation. Capcom has been blasting through its Resident Evil gameography, delivering remakes that are arguably just as classic as the source material, and the company says more are on the way. When asked about whether Capcom would continue remaking the series at a PlayStation partner event attended by IGN Japan, Resident Evil 4 Remake director Yasuhiro Anpo simply said, yes. Anpo continues that the three modern remakes for Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4 have been received very well since it allows a modern audience to play these games. Overall, remaking other hits from the series past is something Anpo is happy to do as someone that loves these older games. So what could be in the pipeline is anyone's guess. However, what game we will remake in the future is something that we would like to announce in the future. Anpo teases, so please be looking forward to it. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Let's see. Yoshiaki Hirabayashi hints that RE Engine will continue to be used, of course. Of course we knew that. We use RE Engine for many of our titles, Hirabayashi says. It is true that sharing information between games has greatly benefited the speed of development. The RE Engine also powers Capcom's other heavy hitters, including Street Fighter 6 and the upcoming Dragon's Dogma 2. Okay, so let's get into it. Now, subscribe to the channel, throw a like on the video, share it around, tell your folks, tell your friends, tell anybody who cares about this stuff. Also, make sure to click the bell. A lot of you all told me you're not getting notifications when I post daily, sometimes twice daily. So click the bell, make sure that doesn't happen. You get all the good content right here, where you need it, how you need it. This is what we're going to be doing. So this is great news to me because I didn't think we would get this kind of stuff this soon. I thought it would be next year around this time and we would start hearing about possible future of Resident Evil remakes and Capcom making statements on it and things like that. You all know my thoughts, and it's the thoughts of most of the people in the Resident Evil fan community. Code Veronica. Don't show me anything else, show me Code Veronica next. And I don't say RE1 because that should be the last one. Resident Evil 1, the start of it all, that should be the absolute last Resident Evil remake that they do. Save that for last, when you've got everything figured out on how you do these remakes. No bugs, no quirkiness, the highest graphical integrity you can get, the highest, crispest gameplay, the perfect gameplay, action combat system, how the game's going to play out. Everything silver, polished silver. That's when you give us Resident Evil 1 Remake. That's when you give us the Spencer Mansion, because that is Resident Evil. That is the heart of Resident Evil. So, the dead beating heart of Resident Evil. So, why Code Veronica, right? It is essential to Resident Evil 5 if they ever get around to remaking Resident Evil 5, which I'm on the fence. I don't care. It's recent enough, PlayStation 3, where I don't feel like we need a remake of it. But tell that to Naughty Dog, right? Tell that to Naughty Dog. But here we are. Resident Evil Code Veronica, I think, is great because there are also rumors going around, and I want to address this. I don't talk about rumors a whole lot, but this was too good not to talk about. There are rumors going around about a possible leaked developer demo that's been going around to different, industry insiders and people like that, talking about the Resident Evil Code Veronica remake that is in development right now. Now again, this is a rumor, but the things I'm about to share with you are in the rumor, and I want to talk to you all about it and get your opinions on it. So this is good stuff. Beginning of the game, when you see Claire Redfield running through the Umbrella facility at the beginning of the game in the OG version, that is now going to be a playable tutorial area. According to the rumor, right? According to the rumor, that's going to be a playable tutorial area where you're trying to get away from Umbrella operatives and you're in their facility and you're stealing the information and you're trying to expose them. Then you're captured. Then you wind up at Rockford Island. You're in the cell, and apparently the prison area is much, much bigger. And in the prison, actually the cells, when you're going through the cells of the prison, you're supposedly you're released as you were before. You encounter a man in black, like a guy dressed in black who's like an Umbrella operative. But as the prison's being attacked, a section of the ceiling, a portion of the ceiling or something falls on him, and you're able to get away from him. And then you encounter Steve Burton, who is in a cell in your same cell block, basically. So you let him go, you form a truce, and you get to the first safe room. And apparently, this is where the game goes wacko, because it gives you the opportunity to choose who you want to play as at this point. Now, it doesn't say if it's like a zapping system, or like if you can switch back and forth between characters like Resident Evil 0. It doesn't say anything about that, though that would kind of make sense if you did that. Claire and Steve are both good at different things. Steve is apparently better at solving complex traps. Claire she can mix herbs. Steve can't. I mean, there's a few different things that goes into. I won't go into all of them here because it is just a rumor. But I think that is tremendously fascinating. Like when you think about everything that you could expand upon, not just in the Rockford Island area of the game, but in the Antarctic base. In the original game, the Antarctic base was supposed to be much bigger. But because of, so I've heard, I wasn't on the meetings, but so I have heard, the Antarctic base was supposed to be so much bigger and so much more complex. Now thinking about it, you can kind of blow through the Antarctic base in about a half hour or 45 minutes. So I do believe that was probably supposed to be bigger. You also play as Chris, and you go back through and you retrace the steps as Chris. So that probably adds another 35 to 40% of gameplay time to the game. You could be looking at a 20-hour Code Veronica gameplay experience, which I think is fantastic. Give it to me. You all know that's in my top 5 Resident Evil games of all time, and I think it sorely needs a remake. I think that one, especially with the lighting and the issues, it hasn't aged well, because when that came out on Dreamcast, they were trying to do different things with the atmospheric lighting and stuff, that it was experimental at the time and kind of cool, but does not age well today. You could do a lot with that, especially the areas of the facility that the lights have gone out in. The creepy mansion on the hill where twins, well, not the twin, if you know, you know. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but where you're being hunted and everything. There's so much creep factor they could add to that. The Bandersnatches. Man, those things would look super creepy in a remake. Code Veronica, if they're going to remake Resident Evil 5, Code Veronica is essential in some ways to the story of Resident Evil 5. So they really need to get that in and get that down. So that's why I think the next Resident Evil remake we're going to get is Code Veronica. I think that is almost a lock for me, because it makes the most sense. Then you could do Resident Evil 5. If they really want to do Resident Evil 5, you could do that. Then do Resident Evil 0, and then do Resident Evil 1 as the final one. But here's the thing. I don't want to be sitting here in 10 years waiting for Resident Evil 1 remake. If you have to skip 5 and 0, skip 5 and 0. If they just decide they're not going to remake 5 and 0, I'm fine with that. Give us Code Veronica, give us Resident Evil 1, we're out the door, no more remakes. Whatever, you know what I mean? But anyway, post your comments below. Let me know what you think about that news. That is wild, especially with the Game Awards being 6 days. Next Thursday, December 7th, Thursday night. Do we see a tease for Capcom's next Resident Evil remake at the Game Awards? Let me know what you think. I know it's crazy. I know it's crazy and unrealistic. They've got a lot of trailers to show us. So it's basically just a trailer extravaganza for me. Because you know my thoughts on the Game Awards. My opinion, your opinion is the one that matters. Your game of the year is the game of the year. My game of the year is the game of the year. That's how I feel about awards shows. Anyway, Let me know what you all think. Don't forget to click the bell, subscribe to the channel so you get all the notifications and everything. Until then, y'all have a great day. Be safe, be good to each other, keep rocking, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care. I want to say a quick thank you to my YouTube and Patreon members and supporters. If you would like to support the future creation of content on this channel, get some few extra perks and some art sent to your door every month, consider becoming a Patreon or YouTube member. Details and links are in the video description.